AC Guy 1948 here. Wanted to thank my 690 subscribers. It's pretty awesome. This is video 400 according to, well, at least when I looked it up on YouTube, it claimed it was video. This should be video 400. And I guess 5 years of being on here. Well, I started the channel in like 2013, but I didn't start uploading until August 4th, 2016. And today is the 10th. So, yeah, we're about 5 years into this. This here was the first video I really uploaded and took for the channel. It was the Fairbanks Morris 3-cylinder. Starts on air. It's a pretty cool engine. This was before I started putting my voice into any of the videos because, well, I'm not the best speaker if anyone has watched my videos. But I kind of lose my train of thought easy. So, yeah, this here was my first video. And I thought I'd just kind of take the time to go over some of my more favorite videos. This here was my second one. It was the G, actually started. The reason I messed with that is that switch has not been quite right. I put one on there. I ended up buying a new light switch for it, but I didn't get a new toggle switch for the ignition. There's a chance this one might be coming back to the channel. I might be bringing it into my place and swapping it out with that V. There's a lot going on. But yeah, really happy with how that one turned out. That was actually my first tractor. I was really little and Dad bought it and it sat in the shed and he was going to go trade it off for another tractor and I threw a fit over that, so he gave it to me. So I do have a few attachments for it. I have a 2-row corn planter, a sickle mower that needs restored, a 1-bottom plow, cultivator, and a couple mowing decks. I think I have a couple. I know I got one for sure, but I don't know if we sold the other 2 decks that we had. I think we sold a couple of them. I don't know. There's so much stuff out there. And then, October 8th, I tried my first game, Maniac Mansion. You probably just saw the last video with Minecraft, where I was building the house and everything. And then we come to this. This is a 65 Mustang I had. I never really did an update video on this, but I should have. I ended up selling it. Pretty much, it was in rougher shape than I thought, and I was supposed to get 5 in on the deal. I ended up getting the 3. One was a 67, this one, and another 65. And I was supposed to get 2 more 65s, but the woman changed her mind after I got these 3 out of there. So they have been sold. I do know that much because the property sold they were on. The barn was about ready to fall in on them. The one, which is a real shame, the one was a T5, which was only made in Germany. And yeah, that would have been one cool one to do up. It was all tore apart. I would have had enough parts between those other 2, this one. I could have got something thrown back together. But this here just ended up being a bigger project than I really wanted to get into. I ended up finding a buyer. And I ended up stealing out the engine, transmission, and rear end, though. So I have the whole drivetrain. That'll all drop pretty directly in the Falcon. I'm not sure how the rear end and everything bolts up, but I know the engine will at least work. Engine, transmission should be the same. So I've got a spare engine for the Falcon, and that one's a 200. And the way it runs, I almost wonder if they had a cam in it, because boy, that thing. It's 2007, I want to say. That sounds pretty different. What the Falcon sounds like with that exhaust. Maybe it's just the way that muffler was. But it seemed to have some good power. I tried putting it in gear and it wanted to jump forward even though the wheels were locked up. But basically on this, back here, if you can see with my mouse, I think the mouse should be showing up, but basically behind the door back was all Bondo and it basically just needed rebuilt. The floors were pretty well shot. Yeah, it needed a ton of work. The rear springs and everything where they hooked in were pretty well rotted off. So it was going to require a lot to get this thing up on the road again and safe. And the interior was gutted. It needed completely redone. So basically, you had a good grill. Oh, well, I don't know, there were some issues with the front end too. But yeah, it needed a lot of work. Moving on to the next one, this Eclipse Tornado 800. I never ended up doing a. This is the last video I did on it, and I ended up right here. I did. If I can get. I put like a red V down it, so that actually looked pretty good, like how it was supposed to be. I would like to figure out some stenciling and do Eclipse Tornado 800 across the front of the hood like it's supposed to have. But basically, it's all back together. And the engine I never did get running. I could never find a gas tank that was the right round style, so I just never messed with it. But I did get it all back together. It's been to some shows. And really, a lot of this stuff I do up, it's just got to be good enough for show. It's got to be cleaned up, looking nice. Yeah, it'd be nice if it ran, but some of this stuff you don't ever want to run at a show anyway, because you're running the risk of, if you start it up and someone gets their fingers down in there, just like that mall saw, we'll get to that in a minute. But, someone puts their fingers in there. Not really the goal of the show to make someone lose their fingers. We're just there to show it off and have a fun time. And this was another project I really enjoyed. This is a George Workbird. It turned out really good. I was pretty impressed with how it turned out. That there, I had gas drip out of the carburetor and it ate the paint away. I ended up repainting that spot on the deck. But other than that, I did find their headlight for it. So, because that one was cracked, I do believe. And it fell apart when I took it apart. But, yeah, that's a fun little one to drive around on. It runs and drives pretty good. They are pretty hard to find and still don't have a back fender for it. I wish I did. But, and then it's also missing, there's supposed to be a piece of tin here on the side of the engine and one that goes above the mowing deck. But, again, parts are not plentiful for that. Then we got the Pennsylvania Panzer. That was another project I enjoyed. That one didn't take me too terribly long. It was already tore apart. But, yeah, it needed some help. But it turned out... Oh, no. I guess I didn't get an after on that one. But it turned out pretty nice. You guys can look that up and find that video. Yeah, I don't have it popping up in my... No. It turned out nice. And then this here is a video that I'm pretty... this was in 2017. I had the Falcon up and going. Pretty happy. Let's see here if I can get to that picture where the floor pans are out. Had the engine out of it, basically showing off. I got a rebuild kit for it. Took it to a machine shop and had the crankshaft turned down 10 thousandths. And there it is. And the floor pans were all shot. I ended up getting a floor pan kit and cutting out the old, welding new in. And it turned out really good. Those floor pans are really solid now. And yeah, I wish I could have found a quick source for that silver blue it was supposed to be. But that didn't quite happen. The roof needed some help. It had a lot of Bondo in it. It was pretty wavy. And then that down there was a big hole there and a hole there. And a bunch of little pinholes. This whole fender I'd really like to replace someday. Just get a new set of front fenders for it at some point. Because they seem to be the roughest bit. There's a little bit of rust back there I kind of bonded over. I didn't really have access to a welder of any sort that was any good. And even still today, I've got a wire welder, but it's not that great. But yeah, it turned out fairly nice. It was just a rattle can job. I chose sail blue and wanted a two-tone car, so I went ahead and made it black. And the horns are gold, and I did like a two-tone color. I did blue and black in the engine bay, just because I don't know, it's what I had laying around at the time, and I thought it looked a little different. You got kind of black up high here, and then it turns into blue down low, and then you got the red in the center. I don't know, I kind of like two-tone color jobs. And then went ahead and got the hood and brand new tires. Was able to find some 13-inch tires, and is now at some point I would really like to repaint it, give it a better paint job. The paint's showing its age. I already repainted the trunk and this area back here, because even there you can see yeah, I like that car. It's fun to drive around. I still need not floor fans. I need door seals and everything for that, and I need to repaint the interior. I just have too many projects. This here is my most viewed video at 37,000 views. So, and this was that central pneumatic air compressor from Harbor Freight. I think this one kind of helped my channel get a little bigger. Is it really anytime there's Harbor or anything Harbor Freight, it always seems to get good views. And this here, I really enjoyed this project. This was a mower that came up for sale. My dad was just like, "Hey, I know where Simplicity is," and found out that it was actually the one that my cousin used to own. So I didn't get it from my cousin. I got it from someone else, but found out it was actually. I thought that was kind of neat because I didn't know it at the time. But it's got a push blade on it. Still got this mower. This is the one I tried using the Mother's Magnet aluminum polish on the rear, and that actually is still holding up really well. I was pretty impressed with how good that polished up the paint. It's not really designed for paint, but it brought it back fairly good. And that's not the first thing this was the first thing I tried it on, but there was a few other things I've tried it on, and it seems to shine it up and bring back dull paint fairly well. So I've had good luck with that. But this one here, got it. The guy said the engine was shot. He gave me a parts engine with it. And yeah, the engine was shot. We got it running here, and it was throwing flames out of the muffler. So had this parts engine, and it had this gear reduction on it, and ended up moving that thing. I think I moved it up. We could look here in a minute. But I took all the bolts off and just moved it up and set it back in there, because the only downside to that is you can't use it for a mower anymore, because that one would run off the front PTO. Or does that one run off the mid for the deck? I can't remember now. But yeah, it was a whole different style, because otherwise I would have just swapped the plates out on the end. But this one having that gear reduction, it was just way too different, and you would have never got a pulley with that gear on there without some serious modification. Guess I could have took the whole crankshaft out and swapped the crankshafts if yeah, I guess that could have been an option. But I just wanted to try and get this thing up and running again, and I did. That was kind of I got it on, well, I can't remember what days I had off then. Let's say I got it Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning. Got it and we got her up and going again. And the Manco, I really, really liked working on this Manco. It was a quick, easy job, but it was just a fun little one. And there's the V. That was another. That project took way longer than it should have for what it was. It's just like that little Springfield I got. It's just I've really slowed down. I've changed when I changed positions at work. It just eats the life out of you, and I'm just I'm just not as interested in working on stuff, and I hate that. Oh, there's the held hauler too before it got all restored. And then here's the Manco all done up. Oops. AC guy. Hope that didn't mess with my recording any. And the mowing deck works on it. That's pretty cool too. And then this one here was my first real project at my new house. I ended up buying my grandparents' house at, well, basically the beginning of the year. And this was real. This Poulon Pro, Grandpa left me his. Oh yeah! I love that tractor. That makes moving stuff around so much easier. But yeah, this little Poulon Pro was really the first project that I did here at the new house. I got it up and running. So yeah, just want to say thank you guys for subscribing, and hopefully I can get some more videos up and going. I'm trying to do different things like the games and stuff. I'm trying to branch out a little more. Looking into trying live streams, but I don't know. I kind of had fun trying to do that one yesterday, but it's just a matter of having the time to do this. The Herman Survivor boots, I kind of like that one too. Cutting the boot open and seeing what was in it. That was kind of fun. That Flymo, be careful with those. That plastic blew apart on me. And yeah, it started up, and then I guess the governor came undone. That thing just started, and I couldn't get it to shut off quick, so I got away from it, and it blew plastic all over the place. That was, I'm glad I got around the side of the building, because I hear, and then it just shut off. So I'm not playing with that one. And I do have an older style Flymo, the Toro version. I don't know if it's got a metal blade in it. I feel like it's got a metal blade in it, but I don't know if I'm going to mess with that one starting it or not. It might just get restored and be a looker. What else is there? Yeah, that truck, that right, let's see if. Yeah, the battery was dead in that white truck. Was why it wouldn't start. But yeah, that red truck, it's got a new muffler put on it, and had to put new manifold gaskets on it. And that's the only problem with buying a low mileage vehicle. Things sit a lot, things go bad. But the body is in really good shape, and it will be a good truck once we get it all up and going again. All of this here, where I did the channel update, where I was talking about AC building the house and everything, that's all pretty well stopped. Since I bought this house, I really have no need to build one out there, as nice as that would have been. But I like it here. This works out. But I still have this property out here, so. And the shed, I don't want to say too much. There's the trusses. It's a 32-foot long trusses. That might be trying to put that up here. Got to see what that's going to do with my taxes, because in town, you know, the taxes get stupid high. Illinois. Don't move to Illinois if you're looking for some state to move to. Go somewhere else. Because everything's just going up and away. But that cattle shed that you guys might have saw, it's like a 50 by 80. I need to get on fixing that up too. It needs new posts and stuff. It needs some repairs. Trying to figure out what else It's a highlight I could go after and talk about, but I think we're... Oh, I never clicked on any of those, did I, with the mall saw? Let's see here. Should have been right before I started on that project. I thought. Maybe not. There's one. Yeah, this COD here, this was at a guy's auction. Dad, his kids, his sons were working on this. This was a really cool auction. The guy had about 300 tractors. They were pretty rare. COD and M7 Alice Chalmers. That was a fun thing to ride around. Topped out at like 42, 45 miles an hour, something like that. It said it had big skis on it there. Take the tires off, run the skis on the front. Yeah, that's just how we were doing this. We had one guy up there manning the engine. There's the governor. But just had one guy manning the engine, running the points and driving it, popping the clutch out. We had a little John Deere tractor. Surprisingly, they did pretty good. There wasn't a couple of tractors that just had a hard time. Yeah, this is back. That was I had a lot of fun at that. I was basically just doing camera work because this is some pretty oddball stuff. We were like, we need to get some footage of that stuff starting up and running. Driving around on its own, you know. Yeah, definitely a video worth checking out. But yeah, this mall saw, I can't find the other one, the one where it's done. Okay, it should be that. There it is.
CI 1948 here.
That ain't it. That ain't it either. Because it should have been all painted up. There it is. Okay, I'm just not looking.
ACI 1948 here.
This one here, yeah, ended up making like a makeshift saw blade for it and putting a piece of wood around it so people wouldn't run into it at the show.
Mall saw done.
And it turned out really good. I'm really impressed.
Handles are back on.
I wish I could have got it running, but I could never get that flywheel off.
How the wheels turned out.
And never get that flywheel off. And I tried a few different ways, and I just kind of ended up being like, it's probably better it doesn't run. It's another one of those things that's, they didn't make many of them for a reason. They're kind of dangerous and as old as the aluminum is, and, you know, and I don't want something blowing apart and hurting someone. So ended up just calling it good, painting it up, making it look nice. A lot of this stuff's just for shows. Doesn't have to work 100%. This one here I honestly thought would get more views, but oh well, this Chevy day in the life of a CK pickup. I did do a higher quality upload of that, but this man Roscoe was pretty fun too. Got it all done up. This fire truck one. I'm hoping to do some more videos on that fire truck in the next year or two. We need to get it out and get it running again because it's been sitting for, gosh, I don't know when this video was taken, but I think that was the last time it was out. So it's probably been about 5-6 years it's been sitting in storage. But yeah, it's a pretty neat old fire truck, 41 Dodge. And this Lodestar, the bed's actually been pulled off of it.
ACI 19.
Had someone that was wanting it, so gave them the bed off of it, and we don't know what we're going to do with it. It might be up for sale here, but I don't know what the plan is at the moment. Trying to figure out the L case. I still haven't done anything with. This is October 27, 2019. I haven't really done any more to it. It fired a video, and yeah, and drove it forward just a little bit. I got to drive it just a little bit after that video, but it that was pretty well it. Yeah, I think still don't know what type of turret lathe that is. Never did figure that out. The Manco, at some point I'd like to get it up and going, but I ended up getting this Toro Pro line 0-turn, and it's kind of become my main mower. So, and it works so much easier than that Yazoo did. A lot quicker. But yeah, I don't know what the future holds for the channel. There'll be more videos a coming. I'm trying to work on my thumbnails and get a little more clickbaity thumbnails up and going, just to bring in the views, you know. Try and drum up some interest. But I think that's going to do it for this video. Just thought I'd say, hey, thanks guys for watching, and here's to another 400 more videos, and hopefully another 5 years. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.